Look, if you're scaling ad spend in the short-form video ecosystem right now, we've got a critical infrastructure failure we need to address immediately. Let me be perfectly clear about this. If you're relying on your native TikTok tracking dashboard to make your daily media buying decisions, that dashboard is lying to you. Today's explainer is a full diagnostic teardown of exactly why your tracking telemetry is corrupted. And more importantly, we're going to look at how elite operators are actively migrating to server-side architecture to fix it.
We're not talking about a tiny margin of error here or some slight delay in reporting. We are talking about a massive 40 to 60% conversion inflation. When you rely solely on the default browser pixel, you are essentially giving the platform a free pass to aggressively over-report your conversions. You're looking at fabricated data. And the dangerous result of that is you're blindly scaling losing campaigns based on entirely fake ROAS.
To understand why this is happening, we really have to look at the current state of the industry. The entire media buying ecosystem has been completely obsessed with Meta's data loss ever since the iOS 14 updates. But over on TikTok, operators are facing the exact opposite and honestly a much more dangerous problem. While Meta struggles to capture enough data, the native TikTok pixel aggressively inflates its data. It's a completely different diagnostic reality. Right, let's get into Section 1, the diagnostic hook. Specifically, the view-through trap. Let's break down exactly why your front-end infrastructure is spitting out fake return on ad spend. It all comes down to a structural flaw we call the view-through trap. By default, the TikTok browser pixel operates on a one-day view-through attribution window. Let's look at what that actually means in the real world. A user scrolls past your ad. They don't stop, they don't click. But later that afternoon, they organically search for your product on Google and make a purchase. The TikTok pixel sees that transaction and falsely claims 100% credit. It literally steals from your organic channels, hands that credit to your media buyers, and tricks you into scaling a losing creative. I really need you to internalize this operational warning. You cannot fix bad attribution with front-end code. Patching the browser is completely futile. Fiddling around with your pixel settings inside Google Tag Manager, that is not going to save you from view-through inflation. To actually solve this, sophisticated operators have to immediately migrate to a back-end architecture. Which brings us to Section 2, server-side architecture and intercepting raw financial data. To execute this mandatory architectural shift, we have to cut off the browser entirely. If the front end is lying to us, we bypass it. We absolutely must capture verified post-click payment data directly from your server. Now, before you even attempt to ping the TikTok servers, you need the actual technical blueprint for the data interceptor. You can access this complete production-ready architecture right now at creatorOps-matrix.com/TikTok-conversions-API-server-side setup. Seriously, go review that blueprint, because without a raw data interceptor, the rest of your API build is practically useless. Let's map out the visual architecture of this integration flow using Make.com. Step 1, you deploy a secure webhook. When Stripe or Shopify registers actual, verified money hitting your bank account, that webhook fires. Step 2, the Make.com engine intercepts it. It extracts the critical identifiers and securely hashes the customer's PII. Step 3, Make.com constructs the payload and fires it directly into the TikTok Events API. The result? A perfectly deterministic server-to-server payload tracking true post-click revenue. No fluff, no inflated view-throughs. So, why is this specific interceptor workflow completely non-negotiable? Well, fundamentally, before you can successfully hit the TikTok backend with a conversion event, you need a mechanism to catch the raw payment data in real time. A Make.com Stripe webhook basically acts as your definitive source of truth. If the payment processor didn't verify the funds, the event doesn't get sent, period. Okay, Section 3, technical payload warnings. We're talking strict JSON formatting rules here. We're kind of entering a technical minefield now. The official TikTok Events API enforces extremely strict JSON formatting rules. If your syntax is off by even a single character, the endpoint just rejects the payload, and your attribution goes entirely dark. So here are the non-negotiable parameters you have to nail. First, the ttclid. That is the master key for attribution. Your landing page has to capture it and pass it straight through to your payment processor. Second, data normalization. All emails must be lowercase, all trailing spaces have to be removed. Finally, all customer PII must be hashed using the SHA-256 algorithm. Honestly, one invisible space, the hashes won't match, and the conversion is lost forever. Now, I'm not going to expose raw JSON strings on the screen right now because, honestly, out of context, that just leads to copy-paste errors and broken setups. If your server endpoint is actively rejecting your payload, you need to push your architects to use the diagnostic syntax guide. Cross-reference your exact payload architecture against the repository at creatoropsmatrix.com/tiktok-conversions-API-server-side-setup. You'll be able to identify your syntax errors instantly.
Moving on to Section 4, Enterprise Omnichannel Tracking. Let's look at the offline tracking program.
This infrastructure doesn't just stop at digital checkouts. Let's pivot and look at how elite operators are scaling this for enterprise retail. We're talking tracking physical in-store purchases directly back to digital video views. When you compare standard API tracking to the offline tracking program, the entire intelligence gathering changes. Standard API uses the ttclid for digital carts, but offline tracking uses infrastructure partners like LiveRamp to map hashed loyalty emails directly from physical cash registers against historical ad impressions. And crucially, it utilizes a massive 28-day look-back window. It is the ultimate bridge for proving true omnichannel return on ad spend. Look, whether you're operating digital checkouts or scaling physical retail, the diagnostic reality is exactly the same. Do not let pixel errors and inflated dashboards drain your daily ad spend. It is operational suicide to leave your tracking telemetry at the mercy of front-end browser limitations. Think about it. Every single dollar you spend optimizing against a fake view-through conversion is just a dollar burnt. It's time to take complete control of your telemetry. For the advanced operators, agency owners, and technical founders tuning into this, consider this an authoritative directive. Deploy the complete Make.com Attribution Hub blueprint to secure your infrastructure. You can bypass the browser today by visiting creatoropsmatrix.com/TikTok-conversions-API-server-side-setup. I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. If your ad platform is grading its own homework through a browser pixel it completely controls, are you actually engineering scalable revenue? Or are you just funding an algorithm built on an illusion? Go fix your infrastructure.